Here's how you can get recruited even if you live in the middle of nowhere and play for the worst club and high school team in the country. The lacrosse recruiting landscape's not an even playing field. People have connections, live in hotbed areas, and just get lucky. But most people are in your exact position. They play for a bad high school and club teams and struggle to get noticed. You're just comparing yourself to the fortunate few. But I'm going to give you the 3 steps to getting recruited no matter where you live, what team you play for, or your skill level. Let's get into it. Step 1 is using prospect days and showcases. The hard thing about lacrosse is that a lot of the recruiting scene is based around your club team. And if you live in a non-hotbed area, you're kind of screwed because you can't get on a good club team and you can't play in front of good teams. But the great thing is that we also have showcases and prospect days. And there's some exclusive showcases, there's some exclusive prospect days, yes. But for the most part, you can just pay a certain amount of money, whatever the fee is, and play in front of the best coaches or the best scouts, coaches, teams, college teams in the country. No matter your skill level, right? A lot of these coaches aren't in, or a lot of these showcases aren't invite only. And that's amazing because showcases give you an opportunity to play on a completely even playing field. It doesn't matter where you're from, what team you're on, all that matters is how good you are at lacrosse because everyone's wearing different helmets. No one knows who people are, even the coaches. So you get the opportunity to not be restricted by a club coach who won't play you or a high school team that you don't have weapons around you. Everything is about you. If you can score 5 or 6 goals at a showcase, you will get recruited if it's a good showcase. That I've seen this so many times. People, they go through the entire process and they can't get any looks. It's just not working out for them. And they have one really good day to showcase and the right coach sees them and they get the offer. And that's really all it takes. It takes one good day, one good moment, and showcases give you that opportunity and prospect days give you that opportunity. And again, there is zero excuse. I would complain all the time when I was in high school that I couldn't get the looks that I wanted because I wasn't from a hotbed area. But then when it came to playing at a big showcase, everything, it's just you. There's no one to blame. It's just yourself. And I think that's a great opportunity if you truly think that you deserve to play college lacrosse because you can't put it on anyone else. If you're the best player there, you will get an offer or at least you'll get a call back from a coach. The one thing I'd say with prospect days is I wouldn't go unless you're explicitly invited from a coach because a lot of times you'll get sort of a mass email sent out from a school telling you, inviting you to a prospect day, yet every single recruit in the country has also gotten that same invite. And the thing about prospect days is, yes, the coach is there. They are paying attention. And if you play well, you will get their attention. But it's also a way for the programs to make money. So understand, if you aren't explicitly invited from the coach on the phone or personalized email, I'd be careful about going to a prospect day like that. But one of the hardest things for lacrosse recruits that no one talks about is sending emails to college coaches. You don't know how long it should be, what to say, or when to send it. That's exactly why I built the G League Recruiting Email Blueprint, and I'm giving it to you completely for free. It's 35 pages of plug-and-play recruiting email templates designed for every stage of the process. The average coach gets over 100 emails a day. This makes sure yours gets open, read, and answered. All you have to do is pick the template that matches where you are, copy it, paste your info, and hit send. Stop guessing and start getting responses. Download the free G League Recruiting Email Blueprint right now at the link in the description. The second thing is to become the initiator. So if you play for a bad team and you complain that you don't have weapons around you or that you wish you played at some top school, I get it. But what you can do is you can become the best player on your team and become the player that in the big moments, it's you. So 30 seconds left, you take the ball, you go to the goal. And that gives you a really unique opportunity because players who play for top high school teams, club teams, whatever like that, chances are the player who gets the ball in that last moment, who is scoring all the goals, is going to be one of the best commits in the country. So it's hard to compete with that. But if you're playing on a kind of a subpar team, you get these unique moments of being the guy. And college coaches notice that. That's something they want. They want a player who can take charge in the last seconds of a shot clock. You're the guy that dodges. And then when you do get to college and you make it, when those moments happen, you're comfortable because you've done it before. And sure, it might not have been against good competition, but it translates. But they take the kid who's really good at lacrosse, but has never been in an OT moment because even though maybe he's a D1 commit, every time it was OT 30 seconds left, he went on the bench and all the other D1 commits were out there. So he's never been in one of those big moments before, even though he's a great player. But you get to take advantage of all of those moments. And that's something that no one talks about, the advantage of being on a bad team. You're the alpha male, you're the alpha dog, whatever you want to call it. You're the guy that goes to the cage, you're the guy that people rely on. And if you're not, that means you just have to get better because you can't have both. You can't complain you're on a bad team and not be the best player on that team. That's just you're complaining about different worlds. Like, you have to be, if you say your team's bad, you have to be the best player on that team. The last step is to think into the future and ask yourself, how does this all play out? So say you're on a great team and you have connections, you somehow know all the college lacrosse coaches. I don't know, you have some backdoor way into a D1 program. That's great. I wanted that. Everyone wants that. Who doesn't want to just go D1 with zero effort? But the thing is that zero effort means you just didn't improve, because chances are, if you got into a backdoor or if you backdoored into a program you somehow snuck in, you weren't good enough because you snuck into it. So once you get to that program, you'll probably either get cut or you'll get benched your entire time. But if you take the other player, the kid from, I don't know, some small area, plays for a bad team, has no connections, and has to kind of grit his way through everything. He has to show off every time he plays because he has all of the odds stacked against him. To get to the highest level, to get to a D1 program in that position, yes, it's going to be a lot harder than the kid who has the connections. But what happens when you actually end up in that freshman year of college? You have two kids in the same recruiting class. And once you're in college playing the sport, connections don't matter at all. Coaches want to win. They don't care at all about who you are. It's just who is the best player on the field. So the kid who had to take the hard path, who played for all the bad teams and had to show off the entire time, played in all the big moments, like you said before, because he was the initiator, he will have the much higher chance of stepping onto a D1 lacrosse field and actually playing, because he's been through so much and he's improved through so much through all the hardship of his recruiting process. But that kid who kind of backdoored into a D1 program, chances are he won't have improved at all from that point of getting recruited to being at the school, because he just wanted to get into the school. And I think what you have to ask yourself is, what do you want? Do you want a commitment post you can show all your friends, get a bunch of likes, which, yes, all of us want that. Or what do you actually want? Do you actually want to step onto a D1 field and play? Because if you want to step onto a D1 field and play, you should be wishing for the hardest path to D1, to the college program. Because if you have that hardest path, you have the highest chance of playing once you reach it. Because if you think, oh, I'll get better once I actually get to the school, that's an awful way to view your improvement, because everyone else is doing the same thing once they get to the highest level. Once you step onto D1 field, you're not out of time to improve, but your time's slim and everyone's working just as hard. So the harder your path is to the point of college lacrosse, almost the better, right? I mean, there's a limit here. Like, if you don't make it to college lacrosse, then yeah, it's not all worth it. But when times get hard and that you're kind of sitting there and wishing you went to some private school, some boarding school, something like that, just remember that if you do make it, and when you do make it, you will be the best player on that field because you had to go through the most to get there. So I think that's just a nice way to view it all, and a nice way to get out of the excuses you make in your head that you don't have as many good opportunities as other players. So to recap, you want to go to showcases and prospect days because the playing field is just completely level, right? There's no affiliations. Coaches are there. They're ready to watch you. They're ready to see you show off. Yes, you need to go to club tournaments too and play for your high school team, but showcases are a great way to get noticed. Second, you want to become the initiator, right? You can't have it both ways. You can't say you play for a bad club team and also say that you're not the best player on that team. You can't have it both ways. So become the guy on your team, and college coaches will take notice. And even if you become the guy on your high school team and no one sees you play, that's okay, because you get that experience of being the initiator, of being the guy in the last second shot clock, of being the guy who's pushing transition. That's what you need. That's the mental mindset you need to take. And lastly, ask yourself, how does it all play out? If you're the guy that goes through the hard process, that gets set back, injuries, but makes it eventually, you get there at the end of your 4 years. Through your hardships, you will become the best player on the field, and you'll be the guy who actually plays on the college lacrosse field, rather than the guy who just sneaks into the back door and then is on the team but doesn't actually get playing time. But one of the hardest parts of the recruiting process that no one tells you about, and that could be easy, is sending emails to college coaches. You don't know what to say, you don't know what types of emails get response rates, and that's why I settled down and I made 35 pages of email templates to give to you guys completely for free. So check the link in the description and you'll get 35 pages of scripts you can just send to college coaches, put in your info, a little bit of personalization, and you can save yourself hundreds of hours and mental exhaustion from trying to send emails when what you should be focusing on is just playing lacrosse. So check the link in the description, take the emails, download them, and send them to the college coaches today. Thanks for watching.